This is AVIOT, Atypical Voices in Our Time, the official podcast of Chemistry Productions. That's spelled K3MISTRY Productions, a media education company.
So go a little something like this. That's AVIOT.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is the AVIOT podcast. I am joined by Jay Random today. He just came back from his holiday break. What's going on, Jay?
Chilling, man. You know, I'm amped up. You know, I'm ready to do this show. You know, special show.
As soon as he came back, he's talking about it. Yeah, man, let's do a show. I'm like, we're doing another show. He's like, yeah, I'm amped. So, Random, whatever you got to talk about, just get it.
Cool. So I just wanted to talk about my lovely cruise that my son and I went on. You know, the cruise is definitely fun, but I went on Royal Caribbean. So comparing Royal Caribbean to Norwegian, by far, I picked Norwegian. The food is better. The activities is better. Just all around, just a better cruise. I don't think I will be riding or taking a Royal Caribbean ever again.
Goodbye.
Unless they got a good deal, you know. Was about that money then, you know. Listen, I'll take Carnival for a discount.
No, not no Carnival, because you remember what happened last time on there. That story, they still can't get over that story from way back in the day, I don't think.
You mean
the one where the boat had stopped and everybody had
and it tipped over?
No, it didn't tip over. Everybody was using the bathroom, so the bathrooms overflowed and all that stuff.
Oh, that was a Carnival? I thought that was Royal Caribbean.
Nah, that was Carnival. That was Carnival Cruise. I'll never forget.
Oh, man, yeah. So in that case, then, yeah. But, nah, so, I mean, you know, it was cool. And the funny thing is, when I was away, I was really disconnected from the world as far as internet. You know, because on the cruise, they charge you an arm and a leg for freaking slow internet.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they charge you $15 a day. But you got to get like a package. So they charge you $15 only if you get it for 2 days. So that's $30 plus tax.
Oh, okay.
And the service sucks. It really sucks. So
because you're on the water.
Yeah, exactly. So every time I saw city lights, I turned my phone signal on, and I was like, T-Mobile, here we go. And once I started seeing the city lights go off, I turned it off real quick because T-Mobile kindly reminds you that when you're out in sea, they charge you $15 per megabyte for data, $5.99 per minute for calling someone, and 50 cents per text. I wound up paying $1.50 because I happened to get desperate and turn my data on, and 3 texts came in, and thank God I actually closed it because, no lie, when I actually paid for the data that I called you on yesterday, I got 32 texts. Just imagine 32 times 50 cents.
Dang.
Exactly, because people been calling, because I was gone for 7 days, so I got old texts, new texts, but I'm glad I stopped those after those 3. I hurry up and turned the data off, and then later on, I realized if I didn't turn that off, that would have been 32 times. Listen, that's not chicken wings, man. That's money. Because, you know, it's good when you get 50 cent wings, you know, but it ain't good when you get 50 cent, 32 texts times 50 cents.
Yeah, you're right.
Not a good thing.
You're right.
But, so, you know.
That adds up.
Yeah, definitely add up. So, also, this lovely, what's it called? That Friday. What do we call it? That Friday?
That Friday, yeah.
That Friday happened.
I talked about it on the show yesterday.
Yeah, and did you see a lot of incidents that happened?
They did?
Yes.
Really?
A lot of fighting going on. A lot of people acting like they're running a marathon as soon as the door opened.
Wow.
Yeah, on IG, a lot of, on Baller Alert, they were showing a lot of fights that were happening. They were really just acting up. I mean, you know, 65-inch TVs for $500, people losing their mind. My problem is I just hate the fact that these are the same people that won't vote. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna wait up in line in freezing cold for a damn TV that you don't need, but you ain't gonna vote and then complain.
I can see though why they
people not voting.
This is why though, because at least the TV is tangible. But voting, it's like, what am I gonna get out of this? Because there's no guarantee that the president's gonna make any laws or any policies that are going to affect those demographics.
Yes.
So that's why I can see they're like hopeless.
No, you know what? I totally agree. But right about now, I just think, you know, I hate to preach vote, but we need to get this knucklehead out of office. I mean, you could put matter of fact, you could put Forky from Toy Story 4 as the president right about now. Yeah, listen, matter of fact, we should vote for Forky if we can't find a right Democrat. But to be honest with you, that's one reason why I always bring up voting, because it's just quite disgusting when you actually look to see how people are acting over electronics. I mean, it's not that serious that we should be fighting each other and disrespecting each other over televisions.
That's very true. I actually wanted to backpedal to the baller alert and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that message that Lakeith Stanfield had posted on his Instagram and I think on his Twitter once upon a time? People were circulating it on Twitter. He's pretty much saying that the Shade Room, Breakfast Club, things like that, World Star are not good for black people. They're anti-black because of them posting all these things, all these videos and all these memes that kind of make fun of black people in a sense. They'll show like good highlights, but they do more of a disservice than actually making the black community look good. And I think about Baller Alert with that, because I'm sure that the images they were showing were black people running and making a mess. I'm sure white people were on there too, but Baller Alert like kind of focuses more so on the black or hip hop community.
Baller Alert on this particular one, they were showing all types of races. You're right. They were showing black people. They showed Indian people fighting. And they showed this man, it was this black lady. She had a TV and this Indian man took the TV from her and the Indian man, I think it was his wife or whatever. They started arguing, the black lady and the wife, and the cops had to come. And then, you see this other white guy, he's smiling. This is like another incident, another Walmart. He's just smiling, getting a 65-inch TV. And these TVs look like they had nothing in it. Look like they had empty boxes. Because people was lifting these damn TVs up like it was nothing. No, but I agree. But I also feel like we kind of
bring it on ourselves.
Yeah, because there's nothing to record if we're not acting a fool.
Yes, sir. That's true.
And that's the sad part, because Baller Alert will also show you, like, Baller Alert showed this incident when this black guy who lived in Florida was being harassed by a white lady who didn't believe that he actually lived around there.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And just recently, because once again, when I finally got my internet back up, Baller Alert, it posted a black man who worked for UPS, United States Postal Service, in the truck, was being harassed by a white lady talking about he looks suspicious. Oh, no. The man was like, lady, I'm wearing my outfit. I'm actually at work.
I saw that video.
You saw that, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, I know other websites or other sites probably mention or show that, but I actually seen it on Baller Alert.
However, my question is this. Mm-hmm. The ratio with like the Baller Alerts and the Shade Rooms and the Breakfast Club, the ratio of ratchetness to righteousness. Yeah. The ratio of ratchetness to righteousness, what would you say that is?
Ooh, it's very low, because it's a lot of BS. I'm not even gonna lie. But I don't even follow Shade Room. But for those who do follow Shade Room, I must admit, I stopped following Shade Room because it was just too much. It was just too much negativity. It was just too much.
Or else they're sexualizing somebody.
Yeah, exactly. So for me, it was kind of like, nah, I don't want to watch it. Hey, so if you recall, Jay Stokes, before I left, I'm not sure if you talked about, I'm curious to see how many people actually sent those videos to Donald Trump's son.
Yeah, Donald Trump Jr. I just talked about that yesterday. Donald Trump Jr., he actually wanted people to send him videos of them arguing during Thanksgiving dinner over politics. He wanted people that were conservative or Republican to pick on their liberal family members and then start an argument during Thanksgiving dinner, videotape this, and then send it to him. He said the best video would actually get a free signed copy of his new book, as well as a Make America Great Again hat.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
But yeah, I would definitely be interested because it seems so outlandish. I guarantee you people tried it.
Yeah. And the bad part is, it's like this guy is inciting arguments amongst family members at the dinner table.
Because of politics.
Yeah, because of politics.
So basically, he wanted individuals that were conservative to send him videos of them arguing with their liberal family members. And then the best fights or arguments would get a free copy of his new book, as well as a Make America Great Again hat. And I'm just like, that doesn't seem like a good prize to me.
That's not a good trade-off.
No.
That's not a good trade-off for me and the family to now be mad and not talking. Because even family members know, or they should know, especially when it comes to holidays, just don't bring that up. Because we all know from the giddy up what our family members, what side they're actually choosing, but why bring it up? It's not going to change anything.
Nope.
I would say our family, though, on your father's side, which we're related on, they are more conservative in thought, but they'll vote for Democrats because they see that this political group will cater to their needs more, in a sense. Like, we know Democrats are just as corrupt as the Republicans, but...
Totally.
But I do believe that they're more conservative in thought, our family on your dad's side.
No, I agree. And also, no, I totally agree with what you were saying. So I just want to say that. But I also want to, because something else just came up. So I was watching...
Hit the random button.
Yeah, random button. No, because don't forget, we don't really have a lot of news. So I'm trying to catch up to the news I was watching when I was on the ship.
Gotcha.
Because we had CNBC. No. I think that's
MSNBC?
Yes.
What happened there?
No, we had that channel, and then we also had Fox.
Oh my god!
So we had two of those channels. Dude, we only had like
conflicting channels.
Yeah, then we had BBC.
Oh, okay.
So you may know her. One of the candidates that is talking, she's talking about how the FDA is not working for the American people. Oh man, she's someone that I didn't even pay attention to, but
Gildebrand?
I think it was. Do they call her kooky sometimes?
I don't know. Hold on, let me look.
Okay. Well, while Jay Stokes is looking, I forgot her name, but I must admit, her speech yesterday on that show was pretty good. She was talking about how the FDA now, they're ran by corporations. So they're not for the people anymore. So they're so they're not really doing their jobs anymore. And she was also stating how with food stamps, if she becomes president, okay. Yes. If she becomes president, she's going to make it so that you can actually buy good food and vegetables with your food stamps. Because I never knew with food stamps, the value of the food stamp is so low, you can't really buy a lot of produce.
I don't know about that.
Well,
some
not produce, but
they begin some nice flat iron steak and everything with that.
No, I'm sorry, not produce. I meant to say vegetables. That's what I meant to say, vegetables, not produce.
Oh, okay.
Vegetables.
Okay.
Vegetables. Yeah, you can get steaks.
Vegetables are expensive, man.
And I think the values, because basically right about now, the way food stamp is, the way she was saying it, that if she became president, she would definitely make it so that people can actually buy healthier food and less junk food. Because I know, sad to say, but on the first of the month, I stay away from the grocery stores.
Why?
Because first of the month is when that's when people re-up on their food stamp cards.
Gotcha.
And I tell you, when, where I live at, sometimes I'm like, wow, why is it so crowded in the grocery store? So I'm like, oh, okay. Now look at all the characters. And I'm like, oh, dang, got oodles and noodles. You got Chef Boyardee, but I'm pretty sure the reason why a lot of that is being bought is because you can't really buy healthy food, or you can't buy a lot of the healthy food.
Mm-hmm.
You can't buy a lot of the healthy food with $200, but you could buy a lot of junk food with $200.
Mm-hmm.
So basically I was like, wow, okay. No one really I never really looked at it like that. Like, as far as, because personally, I don't really care for Biden. I think Biden is riding off of President Obama's coattail.
But he's the best candidate in terms of who's going to appease the masses in the United States.
That is true.
Can you imagine Warren going up against Trump?
No, he would eat her alive.
Exactly. Could you imagine Bernie going up against Trump?
I don't think Bernie going,
Oh no.
So we're gonna keep it moving with that.
I play the cryptic music.
Yeah, because Bernie, he already listen. Bernie already showed his true colors a few months ago when he went to the hospital.
Showed his true colors.
Bernie on shaky waters, man. So I mean, I ain't
a heart attack. Showed his true colors.
Hey, listen.
Oh my Lord.
Listen. President Trump eat Burger King. I mean McDonald's all the time. He ain't have a heart attack yet. I mean, some may say he had a stroke a few months ago by the way he was talking, but I think that was his dentures that was coming out of his mouth. Oh, you never heard that one? It was like, God bless America. No. Yo, when you get a chance, you gotta find it. It's hilarious. It was one of the speeches he was doing.
Okay.
And it's not like his dentures was moving.
Wow.
Yo, it was bad. So somebody was like, yo, is he having a stroke or his dentures are moving?
I didn't know he had dentures.
If he didn't have dentures, okay, you know how you know he have dentures?
How?
Because he never ever sounded like that after that. So either he's having a stroke or his dentures was moving. I'm gonna go with his dentures were moving.
Oh my!
I mean, when you hear it, it's hilarious. It's pretty bad. So I mean, yeah, you got a point. And that's the bad part, because when it's all said and done, I will vote for whoever's going to win. Because, like I said again, if Forky can't win, then I guess I got to vote for a Democrat.
Forky. Well, there actually is a group. Now, I remember I was telling you about this before, the ADOS movement. And so ADOS stands for American Descendants of Slaves, which all of us are. And that's pretty much black people who their relatives survived the Middle Passage, the transatlantic slave trade, and they survived being enslaved, and we're here today because of that. The African Americans, Black Americans, what have you. And so this group, they're both it's both recognized as an ethnic group as well as a political movement. And ADOS, basically what they're saying is, since black people have never really gotten their needs met in this country, you do a Democratic down ballot vote. So you look for a Democrat that reaches your needs, because it's assumed that Republicans really won't reach our needs. So you look for a Democrat on the ticket that meets your needs. And if you see that this person's not going to reach out to black people, you go to the next candidate. Okay. And you keep going down and go into the next one, the next one, the next one. And if no Democrats reach the needs of black people, then you write ADOS, American Descendant of Slaves, on the ballot. And it's pretty much your silent protest to say that we showed up to vote, but nobody met our needs. So that's why we're just going to write in our ethnic group and leave. And it's a protest so that the Democrats will know to take our group seriously. If you look at other groups like the Hispanic group, the white Hispanic group, I should say, or the Hispanics that are closely aligned with the native populations that were here in the Americas, and if you look at the Asians, the East Asians like Koreans, Chinese, Japanese, you look at Indians, they always vote in their interest. They don't vote necessarily for the betterment of the country. I'm sure some people do, but they always vote in their interest. If you notice, they always get laws passed that help their groups out. Why? Because they mobilize as a community. So black people as a collective, I should say black people who are the descendants of chattel slavery in America, now they're mobilizing and saying, okay, we need our needs met. We're tired of being stepped on. What do you think about that?
Well, this is my only thing. I agree, but what if we pick a candidate, right? And then put the ADOS, right? ADOS? And the reason why I say that is because if we do it like that, that's just like we didn't even vote. And then we're going to be upset when we got Knucklehead in there for 4 more years. So what I'm saying is, what if we find a candidate that we're going to go with, write that in there, and that's just a warning that the next time, when it's, the next time, 4 years from now, when it's time to vote, if you are if you're in the running again, I won't vote for you because, you
didn't meet our needs.
Yeah. So basically it's more of just basically just saying, okay, you're on notice and you're on notice on the simple fact that you don't have everything that we're looking for, but that's okay, because in 4 years you better have it or else. So that way we won't wind up again with who.
I see your side, and I also see the side that's been proposed. I think it's more of people are fed up because after all these years, they haven't had a chance to have their needs met. I think it's more of like, okay, we're over it, because now there's being a push for reparations for black individuals, or black Americans, I should say, not foreign-born blacks that come to this country or the descendants of those individuals. So I think it's more of being fed up. If you look at throughout history how blacks have survived Jim Crow, antebellum slavery, all of those laws, I think people are like, you know what, we need our needs met now. And as we see with this new Trump administration, a lot of white individuals and other groups that weren't affected before by the presidency, now they're being affected, so they're desperate. So I see your point, but also I see their point. Your point is warning shot, and then if you don't do it, we're definitely not voting for you. But I see their point also, where they're looking at it like it's either now or never.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I definitely see both sides. I just feel like, if we do it that way, then there's no other outcome than Trump 4 more years. Because there's never going to be a candidate unless that candidate knows what you're looking for. So how do they know what you're looking for unless you're actually advocating for it? And what I mean by that is, so we now have a group that now have this clean initiative. And I was watching it on, I think it was Vice News, and it started off with a grassroots of kids from, I think it was college students. And they started way back, so probably say like not even, I want to say 2 years ago. And now you hear all the politicians, all the Democratic politicians talking about Clean Initiative Act. But see, what happened was they started off by saying, this is what we want. This is what we want. And we're not going to vote for you unless you align with this Clean Act. And now all the Democrats are actually speaking about it. So I think it's one of those, how do they know what you want unless you start speaking on it back then? I'm sorry, not back then, but if you speak on it, say 2 years ago, you know, like give them, like, I feel like give them enough time to know what you want, because they don't know what you want unless they already did their work and no one's listening.
I think what happens is a lot of times us as black people, even including foreign-born blacks, we get distracted by trying to join these other movements like the feminist movement or DACA, because we believe that by helping them out, they'll turn around and help us out.
Oh my gosh.
If you look, it never works that way.
No.
They get what they want and then they're like, peace.
Bye.
So
how can DACA help us?
Exactly. And the thing is, they talk about these kids being stripped from their families like black people haven't had kids stripped from their families all the time and continue having that done now.
The crack epidemic.
Right.
You put the drugs in our community, then you strip the fathers out of it.
Right. And the thing is, I always am kind of conflicted on DACA, and I know this is controversial to say, but hey, this is AVIOT, Atypical Voices. So yes. I'm always conflicted because these people are not American citizens by the law of the land. I don't think we should be stripping the kids from their parents. In fact, I think another solution would be, why don't you send the kids with their parents together? If the parents came here illegally, as they say, and are undocumented and haven't made strides to become American citizens, then the punishment has to be the kids and the parents have to go. I don't think you should separate the two. But I agree. It's very weird. It's a very weird situation.
If the parents leave, take the kids with them.
Right.
Like, why are you leaving these kids? Like, why are you leaving these kids unless you have a bigger agenda? And the bigger agenda is to separate them and then raise the kid as a U.S. citizen. But then that's not fair to the kid.
Right.
I mean, to me, I feel like that's another way of creating a foster kid environment.
And that's not great either, because you can take advantage of these kids. A lot of foster kids get molested.
That's what I'm saying.
It's terrible. I just think send both together.
They all should go.
Yeah, that's the quickest solution right now. Obviously, this is a complex topic, and we're not in that environment.
Exactly.
So we can't really speak too much to it, but on the outside looking in, keep the families together.
That's the key. That's all. And you know what? And that's the funny thing, because I was going to say, because you guys were talking, I'm like, wait, I think I want everyone to know that we mean keep the family together. Right. We don't mean just kick them all out. What we're saying is, we don't agree with the separation.
Yes. Correct.
So if you're going to take the mother, then you should, by all means, take the kid too, because no one can nurture that kid like the parents.
But here's the counter argument. What about the kids that were born in America and this is all they know?
For the kids that were born in America and this is all they know, then that's tough. That's tough for the simple fact, because, I mean, what do you do? But I feel like, once again, if the kid can't take care of himself, meaning any kid that's, say, 14 to a newborn, you're going to have to go with your parent.
I think we should also reward people that strive to try to become American citizens.
Yeah.
Those who are gaming the system, I feel that, sorry,
your time is up.
Gotta go, yeah. But if they really made strides and you can prove that they have made a case, then I think that's different.
Exactly. So I mean, it all depends. But I feel like if the kid cannot take care of itself or do not have family members in the United States, then I think you're only going to end up with the problem we have now. And the problem we have now, we have all these kids that do not remember their parents. We cannot put them back together because first of all, we did it wrong. We did not take the mother information or the father and the mother information and tie it back to the kid. You just separated them. And then now it's like, okay, kid, who's your mother? And the kid is like, I don't know my mother. I ain't seen my mother so now it's kind of like, so what do you do?
And now for a quick commercial break.
To help better educate the public about media matters, Chemistry Productions co-founder Jay Stokes began writing for our personal web blog called Tit for Tat. You can find his writing at chemblog.wordpress.com. That's K3mblog.wordpress.com. Here, articles are posted every Thursday. Jay Stokes also writes media-related articles for Medium.com, which is a platform that helps pay our bills. Make sure to support by visiting Medium.com and search for J. Stokes. And then I have another thing to add to this conversation. A lot of times people say they don't want to go back to their native country in South America or Mexico, Central America, because they have the issue of gangs and they have the issue of drug wars going on. Since the United States likes to meddle in everybody's affairs, why not meddle in those affairs and help out that situation right there?
You know why? Because America can't even help out their situation with the drug epidemic.
Very true. Speaking of drugs, you hear them police sirens in the background?
Yeah, I know. It's only like 8:40. But yeah, so I think that's a problem. And also because a lot of these drug cartels, they actually know someone.
America's involved in that too.
So,
I guarantee.
So it's kind of like the war on drugs is just a joke. Mm-hmm. You know, they better off just fighting, I don't know, but definitely the war on drugs is just a joke. It's always been a joke. It's been a joke when they first introduced it, you know, to the disadvantaged community. Right. So I feel like they can't do anything because for the simple fact, everyone has a price, or not everyone, but everyone in that field has a price. You know, grease my hand and I look the other way.
Here's my thing.
What's up?
For all these blacks, and I always have to take it back to our demographic because that's the community we belong to. For these blacks that are helping out these other causes, ask yourself, do these other people ever help out with our causes? The police killing of unarmed black individuals, the drug wars in our neighborhoods, the policies that affect black neighborhoods. Do these people ever help us out? If they don't, then I would say y'all need to fall back and we need to focus on our own. If you can't help yourself and yourself is not sustained by anything, how do you expect to help anybody else?
No, I totally agree. And when you say that, I think about it and I'm like, wow, you know, you have a point. And the sad part is kind of like we should really just focus on what we're trying to do as a community, because when it's all said and done, we can only help ourselves. Because nowadays, the only reason why a lot of other nationalities are actually coming over to our sides because they're feeling the same pain we're feeling.
Exactly. And do you know why I think this is one reason why I think we're so willing as black people to help out all these other groups? Do you know why?
Why?
Sexual access.
Break it down. What do you mean?
They want sex from these people. They want interracial sex. That's what they want. They want to mix with these groups. If you look, a lot of times people that are helping out these different groups, they be in interracial relationships there and do what you do. But I think that that's a component of it.
You know what? We should definitely dig deeper on that on another topic, because I kind of see what you're saying, but I'm trying to draw a picture, and I got a picture, but I think my picture is way off because I'm trying to figure out who's getting the sex.
It's us. We're going into these groups and we're getting the sex from these groups. That's why this is a theory. This is not proven. This is a theory. So my thing is, so let's look back at the civil rights movement.
Oh,
right?
So they're the damsel in distress. So we roll over there like, hey, listen, I'll help you. I hold that pamphlet. What's your name? My name Tyrone. What's your name, girl? Oh, okay, I got you.
That's why we be so gung-ho for these groups. I think that's a theory, one reason of the many reasons why we're so gung-ho. Look at the civil rights movement, right? We wanted to get integrated into this country because we wanted to be a part of these different systems and stuff. What happened? We ended up abandoning our organizations, our schools and everything. We started integrating with other groups, and it was sexual access. We get sexual access. We get access to these people's opportunities because we think they're better. We think their schools are better. We think that their neighborhoods are better. But if you see, when blacks were living on their own, we were more close-knit. We had a sense of unity. Not saying that all of our resources were great, but I think as a community, we did better. We fared better.
No, I totally agree. And I'm glad you say resources, because it's not even the fact that their schools are better than ours. It's their resources are better than ours.
Correct.
You know, and we see it with our new superintendent. What's her name? DeVos?
Oh, Betsy DeVos.
Betsy, yeah. You know, I mean, you see how she just moving money around like a monopoly. and putting it all into the more, well, I'm just gonna say it, the white communities. You know, so it's sad, but we see how it is, and it's not even the fact that their schools are better than ours. It's just they have more resources, and more resources equal better teachers. Better teachers equal more books, more supplies, and you know.
Well, I want to say better, maybe more knowledgeable teachers.
Well, when I say better teachers, I'm not throwing a race in that.
Yeah, that's why I said more knowledgeable teachers.
More knowledgeable, yeah. You know what? More knowledgeable, yes. More knowledgeable. And okay. And when I say better, I mean better as far as that community is paying more. So more teachers are willing to come because that pays more. So that's what I meant by better. Okay. Because it's all equal money. You know, is like it's not too many teachers I know who are getting paid, but they definitely don't want to get paid nothing. They at least want to pay their damn student loan back. So I mean, that's what I meant by better teachers. As far as because I know, like in Bridgeport, a lot of teachers, they like to work for charter schools because the charter schools pay more.
Gotcha.
They pay more, and the rules are a little different as far as they don't have a union, but they get paid more.
So that's where you're going to get your Harvard grads coming over there?
Yes. The ones who just got out thinking they could save the world, and they leave the next year. Because along with the better pay, you also get fired the same year because there's no union.
Oh, okay.
It's no union, so it's kind of one of those, that survey counts. It ain't like, it's not like, so but I do believe it's good for the student because there's a lot of teachers that aren't worth the pennies that they're getting paid, but because of the union, they know they're not going to get fired. They probably just get moved to another classroom or another school because of the union. But at least with charter schools, they know that if they don't do a good job, they're out the door.
One thing I will say, though, even though teachers have value, I will say in my personal life, I've only had a few key teachers actually lead me in the right direction. And they pointed me to certain resources. I feel like I taught myself, but the teachers that impacted me gave me the right tools. So they showed me the right websites to go to. They gave me the correct books. And I think that shouldn't be understated.
And you know what? And I commend those teachers because for me, I never had a teacher do that for me. I did everything myself. I never had a teacher really actually, I had a teacher tell me one time that I would never be successful.
And you see,
in college.
You see this?
In college.
You see this?
I had a teacher, and I remember this teacher. I won't say her name, but I'm from Connecticut, so I'm going to pinpoint as much as possible this teacher. She was a professor at Sacred Heart University. And I remember I was a financial accounting. So I used to do financial statements at my job. So one day it was reporting time. For anyone that's an accountant, anytime you have month end, you have to stay until the job is done. So your job doesn't care that you go to school, okay? You still have to do your job. So I had something that needed to be done at a certain time, and I also had class that day. So I got to class late. So my teacher after class pulled me aside, was like, listen, so you're going to have to make a choice, either school or your job. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? So I went home and I said, this lady's bugging. Like, my job is paying me to go to school.
Exactly.
So this is the only help you can give me. So to me, I wound up leaving that school and I went to another school, University of Phoenix, because it helped me to still go to school and still work.
That's a privileged person talking to you when they say that.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. And
because they don't understand the struggle.
She couldn't understand the struggle for her to actually say to me, a professor say to a student, you have to choose. Either it's going to be school or your job. And I'm like, lady, I'm not one of these young kids running around here. I already had a family by then. I was paying a mortgage. I had bills. I wasn't a student. I wasn't that student that was going to school on mommy and daddy dime. And my company didn't pay for it either. I actually took loans out to actually go back to school. So, when it was all said and done, but I was making money to pay those loans back. So that alone just made me go, wow. So that's why I bring this up to say I never really had a teacher. I had mentors that actually pushed me to further my education. But no, I never had a teacher. So I commend those teachers that actually did that for you because teachers I met, they were just there for just to get a paycheck. And that's sad. And it's not like I went to bad schools. I went to Stanford High, went to Stanford High. You know what? Probably when I went to Bay State College, it was a 2-year school. I actually met someone that actually kind of gave me the game. Always said, always make more than your age. So I was like, okay, cool. You know, so that right there was cool. So it's like, all right, I see that. And the guy also told me a lot more gems, but so yeah, probably one person, but he wasn't my professor. He was someone I worked with that worked with the school.
That's still a teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
Just not in the traditional sense.
Exactly. No, that's it. So that's all I got for today, man. I'm thinking, I'm like, I'm trying. I'm
in the building, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it going, but yeah, that's it, man.
I definitely want to bring up something back when Koya joins us next week. I want to talk more about this sexual access thing that I presented, this theory. I'm going to do more digging into it. But
yo, shout out to Koya. Let me tell you, Koya, baby girl, you were dead right. Let me tell you, on that boat, I saw a lot of young black women with some old white men on their arms.
Oh, word?
Yo, it was hilarious.
Oh,
yo, I say, is this where they all go? They can find their old sugar daddy.
They get flued out.
Go on cruises for 7 days. Come look, yo. I saw how many old white men I saw with some young black chicks. I'm like, yo, is this where they all at? So shout out, yo, they doing it out here.
Koya, I can't wait. I can't wait for you to get on this next week.
Yes, I'm gonna bring this up, yo. I seen a lot. I wanted to take pictures. I'm talking about old white men with the old white man who bald, but he can't tell it yet because he got like them. So instead of got the comb over, but it's like his hair, so there's still see strings of a bald headness. I'm like, these old men should not be with these big, thick, sexy looking black women. But yo, listen, I guess people do strange things for change, man, on a cruise ship.
Money ain't worth your soul. Money ain't worth your soul. Isn't that what Common said once upon a time? Yeah. And then Common ended up selling out.
I know, but listen.
Oh, that hurt me so much.
Yo, I'm telling you, I seen a lot of that on the cruise ship. I was like, when it popped up, man, I was like, I should have took a picture. I mean, it was like I was cracking up. I said, damn, this where they all at. Okay. Cruise ships. I get it.
With that being said, it's been real, y'all.
Yes.
And we will see you next time.
Yes, take it easy. Peace.
So go a little sign like this. That's AVIOT.